Hello everyone, welcome back to SREEDHAR'S CCE. Let us get started with today quick practice session for mains, starting with question number 121, that is errors. There is a sentence given, and in the sentence there is a part highlighted, that can be any one part of the four, and the highlighted part doesn't have any error. The error, if there is any, should be in the remaining three parts. Okay. Now look at the sentence given. What is the statement given here? Their arrest. Their arrest, here it is singular noun. So there is a verb here that is singular. Their arrest is only, immediately what is given here? One off. So when there is combination of one off, immediately you should remember the rule. What is the rule that we have? There is rule of one off, none of, each of, any of, either of, and as well as neither of. Okay. And what is the rule? All of these indicators should be followed by plural nouns plus singular verb. Okay. Very, very important rule. If you want, you can pause the screen and write down the rule later. And now, if you look at the sentence carefully, there is a combination given as their arrest is only one of an increasing number of arrests. Again, there is a plural combination, increasing number of arrests. And in continuation, in which Germans have, Germans is plural, followed by have. Germans have been suspected. Have been can be used with V3. Germans have been suspected of planning. Of should be followed by ing. Okay. Of planning similar acts of sabotage. Sabotage is nothing but like an attack here. Okay. So the sentence is this: their arrest is only one of an increasing number of arrests in which Germans have been suspected of planning similar acts of sabotage. Sentence is absolutely good. So you can go with one option, that is no correction. That means no replacement required. Next, 122. Look at the sentence given. He reported possible. He reported that is indirect speech case. He reported, that is the conjunction. He reported that in September there were 534 acts. There and immediately followed by were. Were is a plural word which is agreeing with acts. Okay. If there is a word act, we can use there was. There were 534 acts of sabotage. Acts of sabotage is nothing but like attempts to attack, like that, connecting to the previous sentence, against railroads as compared with a monthly average of 130 during the first half of the year. 130 during the first half of the year, that is highlighted. So there is no error in that part. And in the first part, he reported that in September, in the month of September, first part is also fine. So first part doesn't have any error. There were 534 acts of sabotage. There were these many acts of sabotage. B part is also fine. Sabotage against railroads. Against railroads in the sense these people are attacking the railroads. Again should be used because we are referring to the negative case. Continuation. What is in the continuation? As compared with a monthly average. Remember, there is a slight difference between this combination. Okay, let me tell you what the difference is. Compare to, compare with. Compare to should be used when we compare two similar things. Any two things that are similar. Compare with should be used when we are comparing two dissimilar things. Okay. So when we are comparing two similar things, like two percentages, equal sense of percentages, equal sense of things, or equal sense of people, two things, two numbers, that should be used with compare to. When you are comparing two dissimilar, like living with non-living, or animal with the living, or animal with the people, so that kind of sense must be used with compare with. Okay. Now if you look at this combination very carefully, see, we are comparing the monthly average of 130 number with the average of 134. We are comparing two different numbers. Like in September, what was the number of the sabotage that is happening, and in the remaining months, what is the number of sabotage that is happening. So we are comparing something that is similar, which is happening in a particular place, but we are speaking about the two different time periods, that's it. Okay, so we are speaking about the same kinds of sabotage. So answer should not be used with here, that should be replaced with the preposition to. That is an important rule in the prepositions. Next, 123. Look at the sentence. But the reality is that women face a multitude of problems. Multitude is nothing but many. Women face many problems when deciding if and when to have a family, despite the prospect of a childless future glaring to them from newspaper headlines. Okay, now let us read the sentence again. First, this is the continuation of some other sentence, so that is why there is a word but. It is not the beginner, there is some continuation, so it is an extract of some passage. Okay, but the reality is singular, that is can be used. Reality is that is again a conjunction. Reality is that women, plural, followed by face, absolutely correct. They face a multitude of problems. They face many problems when deciding if and when to have, if and when, if to have children or not, and if at all they want to have children, when to have the children. So to should be followed by V1, that is also possible. When to have a family despite the prospect of a childless future glaring to them from newspaper headlines. That means we are speaking about the situation where there are many cases where women are not having the children and women are lacking children, like women don't have the decision to take to decide when to have the children, when to don't have the children and all. And if you look at this case very carefully, there is a prepositional error. The prepositional error comes with this part. Look at this. Despite the prospect of a childless future glaring to them. Now glare to or glare at, look at or look to. What is the correct word here? Glaring at them, not glare to them. That is a simple one. Look at or look to. If you find out the difference between that, you can get this answer. It is glare at, not glare to. So error comes with the E part. Next one, 124. No one, as the club's campaign managers are doubtless aware, wants to be accused with a disloyalty at a time when the prospect of a stable future and a better team is dangled before them. While reading only you can get this answer. Again, this is a prepositional error. Look at this. The subject of the sentence is no one. There is a comma starting with, that means we can start a bracket and close the bracket after comma. I taught this many a times in the regular classes. When there are two commas like this, the noun or the pronoun before the comma and the verb after the comma are the subject and verb agreements. So you can keep this point in the highlighted phrase, or you can keep that in the bracket and read the remaining sentence. What is the sentence? No one wants to be accused. No one wants to be accused. Accused is the word that should be followed by of. Accused of something, accused of murder, not with murder. That is a simple grammatical rule. So error comes with the C part. Okay, so this is a case where you can easily find out the contextual answer, contextual understanding. Remember, whenever there is a sentence like this, remember this part which is in the bracket, that is giving more information about the subject or the information which is given in the whole sentence. Basically these are called as subject complements. What are they called? Subject complements. Subject complements, they are given in addition to the subject basically. Okay, next 125. It was quite exceptional. Have you got the answer already? You should know this word, very very important. What is the word we have here? Q-U-I-E-T. Another one is nothing but Q-U-I-T-E. Remember, Q-U-I-T-E is an adverb. Q-I-E-T is nothing but an adjective. There is a word already. What is the word we have in further? Exceptional. Exceptional is already an adjective. What is the word that can modify an adjective in English? There can be only one word that can modify. That word is nothing but adverb. Adverb modifies adjective. Quite good, quite well, quite understanding. So in that combinations, the word quite is nothing but Q-I-T-A, not Q-I-E-T. This Q-I-E-T is nothing but silence. This quite is silence, keep quiet, be quiet and all. And QIT is nothing but something that is outstanding, exceptional, very good. Okay, so answer should go with the first option that comes as your answer. Okay, now If I take you back a little bit to the errors which we have from 121 to 125, there are 5 errors, and as you can see, dear students, in the first case we have an error, no error, that is okay, no problem. In 122 we had the error of compare to, that is a prepositional error. In 123 we have the error of preposition again, glare at. 124 again we have some error as accused of, that is also preposition, and in 125 we have a word usage kind of error. In 5 errors we got 3 questions based on the prepositions. Now what you need to understand from this, remember most of the cases there are 2 cases where there can be errors. One, verbs, which we already know, but remember in the mains examination verb based rules or questions are very limited, because everybody can answer the verb related questions whatever they are there. So what they try to do is limit the questions from the verb topic and increase the questions from the preposition topic. That's what we had seen just before. Okay, now in further questions also, this is phrase replacement. Okay, we need to replace the phrase, highlighted phrase. Now look at this one very carefully. Let us see, here also we will come across some of the prepositional errors. Okay, look at this. The radiologist felt that there was slightly bilateral rising of the diaphragm and some blurring at both bases. Now there is a rising is singular. Okay, so we need to use was, and if you look at the options, first one is was, okay, second one is were, eliminate, third one is was, okay, and the fourth one is also was, but it is not here, that should be there, not here. Okay, now another word, look at this, slightly bilateral or slight bilateral, that should be slight bilateral, not slightly bilateral. Now if you look at this combination, there was slight bilaterally wrong again, because there is a noun form. Before the noun we need an adjective, bilaterally is not adjective. So there is only one option remaining. What is that option? Third option. Let us read the sentence now. The radiologist felt that there was slight bilateral rising of the diaphragm. That is a possible one. So bilaterally is eliminated from here, were is eliminated from here is eliminated from here, and from here slightly is eliminated. So answer should go with the third one. Next, 127. Look at this. However, Dolan has conceded defeat of trying to, can you change this combination, of trying to lure fellow Lone Ranger Peter Hawkins in a permanent move from relegated Wimbledon to Botham Crescent. If you look at the combinations in the options, on trying to, another one is in trying to, another one is to try to, another one is to trying to. Can you tell me which is a proper preposition that can be used with the word try? Okay, look at this. Dolan has conceded defeat by doing something. Of course, there is no word by. Now we need to choose among these words. One is off, another one is on, another one is to, another one is in. The correct combination should go with in trying to. That comes as your answer. In trying to should be used. That is also a prepositional error. Next one, 128. Look at this. Now the taxman has conceded defeat after accepting the organization was run by volunteers. Look at the combination very carefully. Has conceded defeat. We are referring to the present case. So these organization not possible because we are referring to the singular. Organization is singular. Another one is what here? The organization is run with, not possible, run by. Was run by or is run by. We are referring to the passive voice. What is the next one? The organization is singular. We cannot use the word are. What is the next one? The organization is run by. Okay. If you look at the combination very carefully, we are speaking about the sense which is a present one, and is run is most probable. Let us check the sentence now. Now the taxman has conceded defeat after accepting the organization is run by the volunteers. We are referring to the present sense. The organization's basic case is nothing but it is run by some people, run by the volunteers. That is the nature of the organization, the way that functions, the way that the organization functions is that. So anything that we speak of the nature, its nature or its lively being or whatever the kind of features that it has, all that cases should be treated in the simple present tense. So is run is a simple present passive voice, that is possible. If you use the combination was run, which is highlighted here, you are referring to something that was past and it is no more. But here we are referring to the organization, how it is functioning, or we are referring to the features of the organization. We are speaking about the nature of the organization. The nature of the organization is nothing but it is run by the volunteers. That is nature. Now when we are referring to the nature of something, that should be treated in the simple present tense. So answer should go for the fourth one. Next, 129. The conservatives were confident of victory, but the line of red words inched in. Till in you need to highlight. Okay, look at this. The line of red words inched out, that is one case. The line OFF of is eliminated, that is, we are not referring to OFF of. The line of red words inched in, that is inched out, not a line, that should be used with the line. Now your answer is either first one, third one. What is the difference between the first one and the third one? So look at this, both of these are same. The line of red words inched in. Look at this, in front, this is a fixed case, we cannot highlight in there. Any separate case, don't highlight it. Inched in front of, another one is inched out in front of. We need to add these two cases to the further preposition. This in should be added to in front, another one out should be added to in front, which is the correct answer. The conservatives were confident of victory, but the line of red words inched in front of or inched out in front of, which is the correct answer. The correct answer should go for inched out. The meaning of inch out is nothing but to move towards. Write down this, that is important one. Or to shift its angle, or to shift from one side to the other side is called as inch out. Okay, so based on that, answer should go with the first one. Next, another one. He wrote Ted Kennedy's famous speech at 1980 Democratic Convention when Kennedy conceded defeat to Jimmy Carter. Now what should be the answer here? Conceded defeat to, same thing is given here, right? Conceded defeat to, as it is given. Conceded defeat for, conceded defeat with, conceded defeat by Jimmy Carter. Can you tell me which is the correct answer? Conceded should be followed by to. This can be used as it is. Answer can be used with no correction required. But there is one more case, first one, which is also given as the same. No need to go for the first one. You can directly go for the fifth option. Concede defeat to, write down the meaning of this. Concede to is to accept. To accept defeat is called concede to. Concede to is nothing but to agree to something, to agree to some loss, to agree to any kind of thing that is happening. And here we are speaking about defeat. So this person accepted the defeat against the some other person. Okay, next. This is RC. We are skipping RC. Let us go for the fillers. And in the filler, if you look at the direction here, a sentence is given here with a blank. You need to fill the blank choosing the word or words given below which provide the antonyms to the bold words. We do not need synonyms, we need antonyms. There is a bold word highlighted. Look at this bold word. This is the bold word highlighted and you need to pick the antonym. And remember, if you want to save the time here, you need not to even read the sentence. If you know the word meaning directly, you can answer. Look at the word. What is the word given here? Harmonious. Harmonious is a positive word and antonym should be negative. Search for the negative here. Agreeing is positive. Counter can be negative. Similar is positive. Concur is nothing but again agree. Concurrence is nothing but agreement. This is also positive. So what should be your answer? Answer is directly second one. You need not to read the entire sentence because there is a highlighted word. This highlighted word needs an antonym. So here it is time for you to, it is a place or a choice for you to save the time. Okay. Next, let us go for 140. Let us look at the another one. What is the word given here? Numb. Numb is nothing but somebody who is not sensitive. Someone who is not sensitive. Numb fingers. When you fall down, you get numb. That means without any senses. Okay. Now look at this. Not sensitive and ignorant. These two are synonyms. That means we need antonym. We don't need synonym. Imprecise, this is not a word which is related to the context. Sensitive, it can be antonym, of course. What is another one? Strong, which is not sensitive. Somebody who is very strong, this fellow doesn't feel anything wrong. Please stop doing that. I'm getting diverted. Okay. Now look at this. Somebody who is so strong, this fellow is not sensitive. If somebody has got hurt and he doesn't feel anything, that means he is non-sensitive fellow, that is a numb fellow. So this becomes synonym. Antonym should go only with the third one. You need not even check the sentence here. It is time for you to save the time. Now look at this. Inattentive, it is a negative word. Antonym should be used with the positive. Check for the positive. Protective is positive, but inattentive, protective, somewhat different. Okay, let us keep that on hold. Inattentive and careless, this is also negative, eliminate. Attacking, this is also negative, eliminate. Another one is injurious. Injurious is also negative, eliminate. Now, what is the only word remaining here? Protective. Inattentive, somebody who doesn't care, and protective, one who cares. Yes or no? Inattentive in the sense you don't care for anything. Protective is something that you care for something. You protect something. So, answer, perfect answer based on the elimination should go with the first one. Next, 142. What is it given here? Forfeit. Forfeit, one meaning is nothing but fine. Fining is nothing but punishment. Okay. Another meaning is nothing but to damage. Either of the ways, it is a negative word. Antonym should be again positive. Okay. Search for the positive. Break, negative. Recover is positive. Damage, negative. Vain is also negative. So answer should go only with the recover. Direct answer. Fraction of seconds only. Okay. Next. Yeah, the most important section of today's explanation, that is this one, that is starters. Okay. Now let us look at this. If you want to make yourself perfect in starters, first you need to read the sentences properly. You need to understand the meaning crystal clear. If not, you cannot do them perfectly. There will be a negative mark if you do so without reading. What is the statement given? Look at this first. On August 14, 1945, we are speaking about the time. At this time, Imperial Japan unconditionally surrendered. Who surrendered here? Japan surrendered at that time. Continuation. World War II ended with a bang. Two of them. With a bang. Bang is nothing but here we are speaking about nuclear bomb. Okay. That is called as bang. Two of them. Who are two of them? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Clear? Now, if you look at the first case, A, what is A starting with? World War II ended. World War II ended how? World War II ended is starting from here. Okay, can we start that? World War II ended with a bang. Two of them actually Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 14, 1945 as Imperial Japan unconditionally surrendered. There is a possibility with A, keep that on hold. Look at B, what is B here? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That doesn't start a sentence here. They cannot be either, they can be either neither subjects nor object combinations, just an additional information, that's it. So B can be eliminated. Come to C. What is C? Imperial Japan on August 14, 1945 unconditionally surrendered, and the World War ended with a bang. There is a possibility with C. Do you see any AC combinations? Yes, there is. So answer should be used with the fifth one. Okay. So one case World War II ended, we can start with the second one. Imperial Japan, we can start with the first one. Both are possible. Answer can be used with the fifth option. Next, 144. What is given here? The hurricanes this fall are making hard to determine just how good it has been. Job growth has been moderately good. The statement is given as, first case we are speaking about hurricanes. The hurricanes this fall are making it very hard. That means we are speaking about the negative case to determine just how good it has been. We don't know what situation we are speaking about, but there is some situation they need to determine, and because of the hurricanes they are unable to determine how good that is. Okay. In continuation, job growth has been moderately good. This is positive. First statement is negative, second statement is positive. That means we are looking at the relation of a contrast. Now look at the contrast. This fall the job, first case is this fall, and the job is speaking about the second case. They are trying to mix both of them without any proper sense. Eliminate first one, A. Next, although, that is a contrast, right? Now look at this. Although job growth has been moderately good. The hurricanes this fall are making it very hard to determine how good it has been. Because of the hurricanes, they are unable to determine how good the job growth is. So B is absolutely possible. Look at C. What is C? Moderately good was the job growth. Doesn't make any sense. So answer should go only with B. That goes with the fourth option. Have you got that? Very good. Jayashree got that. Okay. Next 145. Bengaluru's population had touched in the sense increased to 1.2 crore. Population is increased. The number of vehicles on Bengaluru's roads have risen to as much as 64 lakhs. See, one case the population increased, because of this the vehicle number is also increased. So can we say first one is the cause and second one is the effect? Can we say that or not? This is the reason and this is the result. Yes. Now look at the case. What is the case? With Bengaluru's population touching, we cannot use the word touched here, touching. With the Bengaluru's population touching 1.2 crore, the number of vehicles on Bengaluru's roads have risen to as much as 64 lakh. Absolutely possible. A can be used. What is the next one we have? Touching. I think I taught you this point many a times. If at all any sentence is directly starting with ing in the beginning, of course we can use that as a beginner. But remember, whatever the action that this is in the ing, the action which is done by the subject the same subject should do the next action which is in the further sentence. For example, look at this. We are speaking about the look at this, population touching 1.2 crore. Now what is the subject we are speaking about? Bengaluru's population. The same population should do the action in the second sentence. If the same subject is doing the action in the second sentence, then we can use the word ing. Let me explain that with a small example. For example, look at this. What is the statement given? They saw the tiger, they ran away. In both cases, what is the subject here? They. What is the verb in the first one? Saw. What is the verb in the second one? Ran. Same they is doing saw and also ran. One subject is doing the two actions. In this case, we can say, look at this. Seeing the tiger, they ran away. Now, who saw the tiger here? They saw the tiger. Who ran away? They ran away. The same subject is doing the two actions. In such case, we can use the statement like that. But if you look at this case very carefully, touching 1.2 crore, what does it mean? Doesn't make any sense. If you use the touched word here in the beginning, the second subject, what is the second subject? The number of vehicles. The both should be same. There is no possibility. So eliminate vehicles in Bengaluru. Look at this. Number of vehicles in Bengaluru or vehicles in Bengaluru? What should be your answer? Number of vehicles on Bengaluru roads have risen. It's not the vehicles that is risen. Number of vehicles. Meaning should not change. Remember, choice of words can be anything, but the meaning should not change. The number of, if that is there in the beginning here, there is a possibility. But let us try to check. Vehicles in Bengaluru. Again, it is given as in Bengaluru, not on Bengaluru. Vehicles on Bengaluru's roads have risen to as much as 64 lakh. There is a possibility, but vehicles in Bengaluru again is out. Answer can be used only with the A. Next 146. The country's production growth rate is high. Look at this. Country's production growth rate is high, positive. This is a positive case. Yes or no? The capital stock growth is slowing. Slowing is positive or negative? That is negative. See, growth rate is positive, but the capital stock growth is negative, slowing down due to reining in production capacity and investment. Absolutely, we are looking at the contrast. Yes or no? Now look at the contrast. First case contrast, clear? Although the country's productivity growth rate is high, the capital stock growth rate is slowing due to any reason, whatever it is. We just need to find out the contrast. First one is already contrast. Look at the second one, high productivity of the country. Is there a high productivity of the sea? High is at the end, productivity is there, country is there. The sentence formation is not correct. Eliminate B. What is the next one? Capacity and investment in the capital stock. Look at this. Capacity and investment in the capital stock. See, we are trying to combine both object and subject in the beginning. There is a case where we can change active to passive and passive to active. But remember, we cannot change this here in such a way because they are trying to combine both subject and object in the beginning of the sentence. Impossible. So answer should be used only with again a combination that goes as the contrast. Next. This is a reading comprehension again. I will take you to one of the important sections. Question number 152. This is where you need to be extremely careful. Okay, let me minimize this. Okay, I hope that is visible. There are inferences. Okay, now in each of the given questions an inference is given in bold, which is then followed by 3 paragraphs. There is an inference which is highlighted and there are 3 paragraphs. You have to find the paragraphs from where it is inferred correctly. Okay, now choose the option which best is the best possible outcome as your choice. Now you need to pick one sentence that carries the same meaning as the above inference. Now what is the inference given? Look at the first one. The first one is, the more insecure a culture. Now the case is given like this. Look at the case. The more insecure a culture is, the greater the freedom of the artist. The more insecure a culture, if the culture is insecure, then the freedom of artist can be great. Now they have given in such a way. It can be any type of inference. We need not to judge the inference. We just need to bring out the same meaning. Forget about anything. Sir, insecure culture unte ela sir great avutadu. అవన్నీ మనకు వద్దు, మనకు ఉన్న మీనింగ్ అక్కడ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలంతే, అది మన డ్యూటీ. లుక్ ఎట్ దిస్. వెన్ ఏ కల్చర్ ఈజ్ సెక్యూర్, సి ఆల్రెడీ కల్చర్ ఇన్సెక్యూర్ కావాలన్నారు, కల్చర్ సెక్యూర్ వచ్చింది. కెన్ వి ఎలిమినేట్ ఇట్ ఆర్ నాట్? ఇన్ ద బిగినింగ్ ఓన్లీ వీ కెన్ ఎలిమినేట్. నెక్స్ట్, ద సబ్జెక్ట్ మే హ్యావ్ ఎ పర్సనల్ మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద పెయింటర్ ఆర్ ఇండివిజువల్ స్పెక్టేటర్, but there must also be the possibility of their agreement on its general meaning. It is at this point that the culture of the society and the period in question precedes the artist and his art. See, what they are trying to say is, the subject may have a personal meaning for the painter. Subject is nothing but you take this stylus as a subject, the painter wants to draw it. Now this subject, this is a subject, okay? Now this subject may have a personal meaning for the painter or individual spectator. Painter is me and spectator is you. You may, I may treat it as a stylus, you may treat it as something else. So there are different point of views, that is the point, okay? But there must also be the possibility, point of views may be different, but there must also be possibility of their agreement on its general meaning. Are you getting the point? I may say this is a stylus, you may say this is a pen, but there should be final conclusion, okay? In continuation, it is at this point, when we finalize this, at this point, that the culture of the society and the period in question precedes the artist and his art. Now when two people agree with the thing that is there, now I say stylus and you say pen, and both of us agree as this pencil, okay? Now at this period of time, this question precedes the artist and his art. The art of the artist comes out of the society. Finally, there should be an agreement like this. That is the meaning of this sentence. Now let us look at the third one. What is the third one? When a culture is in a state of disintegration. Disintegration in the sense positive or negative? Insecure is negative. Disintegration is also negative. Or transition, the freedom of the artist increases, but the question of subject matter becomes problematic for him. He himself has to choose for society. We are clearly saying when a culture is in a state of disintegration, clearly referring to the negative case. This type of disintegration or negative sense is not given in the second one. So answer should go with which option here? Third one. Directly the statement is given. When a culture is in the state of disintegration, as it is, the more insecure a culture. These two give the same meaning here. In the second statement, there is no case, and in the first statement, they are speaking about security. That cannot be the correct one. So only 3 is correct. Okay. Now 153. Look at this. The demerit of Agriculture Procure Market Committee is that it makes farmers exposed to global prices. Farmers get exposed to global prices. The demerit of Agriculture Produce Market Committee is that it makes farmers exposed to global markets or global prices. Let us try to find out if there is anything like this. Okay. Now the Agricultural Produce Market Committee Act prohibits farmers from selling their produce in any mandi. Mandi is local, okay? Mandi other than their designated one. This makes farmers vulnerable to middlemen and vested interests. They are exposed to global prices but are not provided with the access to cost efficient technologies and information system. This places them at the disadvantage with farmers from other countries. Now in this statement what they are trying to tell is, there is some new act. This new act prohibits the farmers to sell their product in the local mandis in the sense local markets, and it also stops them from exposing themselves to the middlemen. And immediately when there is no access to sell to the local markets or middlemen, immediately the farmers have to go for the global markets. So that comes with the global price. And what they are trying to tell is, of course they are ready to go for the global prices, but there is no proper technology that gives farmers strength to go and sell in the global prices. Yes or no? See, I am a farmer. Till last year I used to sell my crop to the local people who are the local market or local leader or local mandi or local whatever that middleman is there. Now suddenly the government has brought up some act, and in this act I should not sell to local mandis, I should not sell to middlemen. Okay, no problem, I should go and sell directly to the global market at the global price. Now here, when you are giving me or asking me to sell my product to the global price, you should also provide me with proper technology, proper efficiency, that I should go and get access to the people who are outside in the global market. So such thing is not there. Absolutely the above statement speaks about the same thing. First one is absolutely correct. We can take the first one, but let us look at the second one. What is the second one starting with? Karnataka. Absolutely not possible. Is there Karnataka mentioned there? No. What is the next one? The farmer is forced to depend on the advice of agri-input dealers and commercial organizations instead. Some organizations are attempting to use information and communicate technology-based methods to give technical advice to farmers. No. It is not at all relevant. So perfect answer should go with only one. That goes with the first one. Have you got that? Yeah. Some of you are answering. Next, 154. Remember, you need to have patience, you need to have time, you need to read properly. Otherwise, we cannot get this. Not a grammar thing, okay? Now look at this. Aadhaar facilitates distribution of money and end customer will be directly benefited. Aadhaar customer facilitate distribution. For example, government is starting some scheme, it is easy to distribute to the people of money and end customer will be directly benefited without any middleman. Okay, very good. Now look at this. Over 1 billion Indians now have biometric identification cards known as Aadhaar. There is a word. The system can handle money usually by diverting income payments to the bank account linked to an Aadhaar number directly to the person. A blast of cash to the citizens enrolled in the scheme would be a feasible way to distribute the money, though that would mean everyone got money, including the conspicuously rich. Everybody may get the money. Rich people may get, poor people may get, but here the point is the middleman will not grab the money of the poor. So Aadhaar is enabling this type of thing. That is possible, absolutely. First one. Look at the second one now. What is the second one? Aadhaar again. Aadhaar may seem folly in the country home to over a quarter of the world's truly poor to give people money for nothing, but it would be a shift, efficient way to make it home to far fewer of them. It may not be providing money to everyone, but whoever they are getting the money, they are directly getting the money in their accounts. So it is somewhat sensible. Let us see if there is a pair like that, 1 and 2. Look at the third one. What is the third one? India is keen in theory to help its poor, but not very good at its practice. Much of its welfare subsidies end up in the hands of the relatively rich, who are more likely to make use of air-conditioned trains or cooking gas, are able to bribe the bureaucrats in charge of deciding who deserves the subsidies. In-kind benefits are preferred by middlemen who would find it harder to get payments made to beneficiaries' bank accounts. Do you see any word that is Aadhaar here? Simple question. Do you see any word that is Aadhar? There is nothing that is related to Aadhar. We are speaking about the problems that are there in the society, okay, but we need to speak about the enabling of Aadhar, which is benefiting the people and customer. So third one is out. Your answer should go with only 1 and 2. That comes with the second. Next, 155. Look at the statement. The reason for the plight is nothing but a difficulty, problem. The reason for the plight of Indian apparel manufacturers. Apparel is nothing but cloth manufacturers. Cloth manufacturers is that they don't own brands. The problem of Indian apparel manufacturers is that they don't have any brands. There are many manufacturers, but Indians, what happens is they get the brands of some other people. They themselves don't have the brands. That is a problem. Okay, now look at this case. First one. What is the first one? A suit being retailed for US. Is there anything like that? Tokyo, London, US dollars. There is nothing related to clothes. Keep that away. Look at the second one. India should rather focus on high value jobs in pre-manufacturing services. Here we are speaking about jobs, but above case we are speaking about the brand, which is not related. Look at the third one. What is the third one given? Many of India's key exports apparels are nothing but low margin contract manufacturing that does not make much money for manufacturers because manufacturers don't own the brands. Is that clear or not? Absolutely clear. Answer should go for only 3. Where is only 3? That comes with 5. Okay. So let me tell you one small story of a student. Okay. Regarding the last 4 questions. There was a guy who did not attempt these questions, the inference based questions. Remember, the inference questions, they look very large, very mammoth, so big. Inference 2-3 lines. The further inference meaning based paragraphs 2-3 lines again. Totally altogether you need to read nearly 20 to 25 lines of the sentences and you need to find out the meaning. But remember, let me tell you one thing. There are some inferences which are easier than errors, which are easier than fillers. In the beginning we had done some errors and fillers, right? These inferences are much easier than the errors and fillers. But what you need to do is, first you need to read them. Don't look at the size of the question and decide this is very lengthy, I cannot deal this. Don't decide without reading. First read the sentence, look at one question at least. When you look at one question, you will know whether it is easy or not. After reading one question, if you find it difficult, immediately leave it and go to the next section. But without checking that, if you do that, it will happen like this. There was a guy, in the entire questions, he attempted every question, but almost he left these type of sections where there are lengthy sentences and inference kind of questions. And what he realized after the exam was, when he came out of the examination, when he discussed with his friends, the easiest questions in whole paper were inference questions. Now after coming out of the examination, after discussing, when he came back to the institute, that student, he came to me and he said, sir, I did a mistake like this. What did you do? I asked. Then he said, sir, there were inference questions like this and I misjudged them. I thought this would be very hard, so I did not attempt. So here the problem is, the students directly decide without even looking at what the question is, how the question is, what is the level of the question. Don't judge, my dear students. Don't do like that. That is the biggest mistake that you will do. See, reading comprehension, we don't touch it because most of the questions are indirect type of questions. But remember, inference, there are some questions which will give you the answers directly. Did I read the entire sentences? You tell me. I did not read the entire sentences there. I hardly read 1 or 2. That's it. I did not read 3 sentences completely. I read only 1, 2 or 1 hardly. That's it. I did not read entire paragraphs. There are 4 paragraphs totally. I read only 1 or 2 hardly. I saved my time. How? You should know where to focus, where to leave. It is not about answering every question after reading entirely. And even in the fill in the blanks also, I did not read the entire I did not even read one fill in the blank. I only looked at the word, I know the meaning, so I directly answered it. You should do like that. You should know where to save time and where to spend time. Time is very valuable thing there in the examination. If you know the value of the time which you spend in the examination, you will make wonders. Remember. So do not belittle or do not downgrade, do not look upon, do not look down on any type of question until and unless you put your hand and mind into it. Once you put your hand, if your hand is fired, immediately come out of that. Don't touch it again. You will waste your time. You will go into negative. So focus on every question. You should know which one you can get from the mark, get the marks from, and which one you cannot get the marks. So judge the question properly. That is the entire moral of today's class. Okay, judge the question, get the answer. Fine. Thank you so much. Keep watching SREEDHAR'S CCE, and all the best for your preparation. Next one will be Railways Live. Thank you.